the BioNTech-Pfizer vaccine getting approved in the UK. We have with us Lovan Season with more information. Hello, Lovan.
Thank you, Giancarlo. So Britain on Wednesday, first Western country to approve a COVID-19 vaccine for general use as the global death toll rose towards 1.5 million. The British government has accepted a recommendation by the country's independent medicines regulator to give the green light to Pfizer-BioNTech's COVID-19 vaccine to be given to the general public. Here's the Prime Minister Boris Johnson with this announcement.
Today, we can announce that the government has accepted the recommendation from the Independent Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency to approve the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for distribution across the United Kingdom. After months of clinical trials involving thousands of people to ensure that the vaccine meets the strictest internationally recognised standards of safety, quality and effectiveness. The UK was the first country in the world to pre-order supplies of this Pfizer vaccine, securing 40 million doses. Through our winter plan, the NHS has been preparing for the biggest programme of mass vaccination in the history of the UK, and that's going to begin next week. It will inevitably take some months before all the most vulnerable are protected, long, cold months. So it's all the more vital that as we celebrate this scientific achievement, we're not carried away with over-optimism or fall into the naive belief that the struggle is over. It's not. We've got to stick to our winter.
Pfizer said Wednesday it will begin transporting the vaccine to Britain's state-run National Health Service, or NHS, within days. The NHS, charged with delivering the free mass vaccination program, will start administering jabs to the most vulnerable early next week. The NHS has decades of experience in rolling out vaccination programs and has put in place extensive deployment plans, the UK's health ministry has said. Pfizer said it has no current plans to provide the vaccine to private sector buyers in Britain. Now, the vaccine, which proved 95% effective in global trials, requires 21 days apart doses. BioNTech and Pfizer have said they expect to supply up to 50 million doses globally in 2020 and up to 1.3 billion in 2021. Now, Britain has pre-ordered 40 million doses in total and expects to receive an initial batch of 800,000 to begin next week's rollout. Pfizer said it will scale up from there through the remaining weeks of this year and into 2021. Regulators are still to approve the vaccine in the United States, which has ordered 100 million doses, or in European Union, where 300 million are on order. Back to you, Giancarlo.
Thank you, Lovan, for that update. But how does the government plan to roll out this vaccine to the public?
Well, Giancarlo, the UK health officials put together a criteria to decide when people will receive any approved COVID-19 vaccines. It is their top priority to prevent more death and protect health and social care staff and the system, of course. And now the elderly care home residents and their carers will be the very first to get vaccinated. Then those aged 80 and over, and the frontline healthcare and the staff. Now, other elderly people and the clinically extremely vulnerable will be next, with the rest of the population then prioritized by age. Now, in the US, a high-level panel of experts voted Tuesday for a similar plan that will see healthcare workers and residents of long-term care facilities to get the jab first. Giancarlo?
Thank you, Lovan. That sounds promising. But are there any challenges that are being expected with the vaccine?
Yes, that's correct. It is actually. There are challenges, and Pfizer and BioNTech's vaccine has notable obstacles when it comes to transport and storage. Now, according to them, it must be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius or 94 degrees Fahrenheit for periods of up to 6 months. And these temperatures are much colder than those of a standard freezer. Now, the vaccine will be manufactured at Pfizer's plant in Perth, Belgium, and transported in temperature-controlled thermal shippers that use dry ice. It can then be stored for up to 5 days at about 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. And this will enable it to be transported and stored on a regular fridge at distribution centers. Now, this was according to Pfizer and the UK government. Now, the Health Ministry, Giancarlo, said it will first only deliver the vaccine to hospital hubs with ultra-cold storage capability. And the doses will then also be distributed to local community services and vaccination centers for administering. Giancarlo?
Thank you so much for that report, Lavan, and keeping us updated with the recent developments.
Thank you, Giancarlo, for having me, reporting from London, United Kingdom. I'm Love Ann Season, and we live in interesting times.